Abernathy, Materials Engineer for Plastic Ingenuity. Food waste is a topic that really should interest all of us, given its impacts on our environment and society. In this edition of Good Information, PI Sustainability Champion Zach Moscato is going to share some food waste facts and talk to us a little bit about how packaging design can help. Okay, let's start with the basics. What is food waste?
Food waste is food intended for consumption that gets discarded along the food chain and can no longer be consumed. Unfortunately, 35% of the food that is grown for consumption gets wasted before it can be consumed.
Okay, can you give us a sense, about the impact of that?
So it's estimated that food waste accounts for about 8% of annual greenhouse gas emissions globally. And if you want to put a value on it, it's about $400 billion worth of food that gets wasted. Unfortunately, we have 800 million people that live in hunger around the world, according to the UN.
Well, where does food waste happen?
So food waste can occur anywhere in the supply chain, from the field to the table. Nearly half of food waste occurs after processing and packaging. So that's after it reaches a market, a store, a home, or a restaurant.
Can packaging have a positive impact?
Yes, and that's the good news. So greenhouse gas emissions associated with food vastly outweigh that of the package. So, we can have a major impact reducing food waste and greenhouse gas emissions, even if we have to add a little bit to our packaging.
Okay, what are some packaging strategies that can help with that?
So food preservation is a big one. So adding barriers to the package that extend the shelf life of the food. That's an obvious one. Portion control is also something that designers should be aware of when designing new packaging to make sure those portions are accurately sized. And then also accurate communication of what's a best end use date or what's a best expiration date to consumers is a big one, so that food is not thrown away too soon in its life.
I'm always going to ask, are there trade-offs?
There can be trade-offs, which is why it's important to prioritize our desired outcomes. So for instance, multi-layer packaging for barrier tends to be harder to recycle than monolayer packaging. However, barrier packaging can dramatically extend the shelf life of a product and reduce the likelihood of it going to waste.
Well, that does sound like a reasonable trade-off, instead of the impact of wasted food.
Yes, and it underscores the importance of needing to develop recycling solutions for all types of packaging formats, so we don't have to sacrifice performance for recyclability.
Thanks, Zach. As always, some very good information. Appreciate it.